morning, welcome to Crafted by Norma. Today I'm going to do a tutorial on how to make a 6-page or 6-enveloped book. I joined a group on Facebook and showed some of my journals that I've made from upcycled envelopes, and quite a few people have asked for instructions on how to make the initial book. So I thought I'd do this tutorial. I have tried one on paper and sent that out to one or two people, but I thought if I did a video, it's more, well, it's better explained, put it that way. So what I'm going to use is, these are 7 by 5 inch or 7 1/4 by 5 1/4 manila envelopes. I originally made my first one because I had some envelopes left over from a project that I did for someone's wedding. So the 5 1/4 by 7 1/4 long, and they fit a card. Obviously that's a 5 by 7 card. It's better if you can fold them, pre-score them, all the envelopes before you start. It just gives you that little bit more flexibility. So we'll get going. All you need really for this is some decent PVA glue. I like to use PVA glue. You can use whatever glue method that you like, but I personally like PVA glue, and I get mine from my local artist shop. It's thicker, it's better than the cheaper quality ones that you can get. I quite like it. So let's start. So your first envelope is going to be with the pointing right, and the envelope that you're going to add to it is going to be with the pointed side pointing left. So we just open it out and we're going to run some glue. You don't want a lot of glue, but you're just going to run a thin line of glue right the way around the edge of that shaped part of your envelope. I've got no idea what the shape is. Triangle, isn't it? A triangle, of course it is. So I'm just going to run a thin amount of glue right the way along the edge there. Okay, now once you've done that, the important thing then is to line your envelopes up. So you've got a line running down there right the way to the edge, which is your fold over for your triangle piece of envelope, and you want to try and marry that up as close as you can to the one underneath. Fold over and run along. Now I use my tatty rag. I've had a friend who's a crafter, and she's knitted me this out of cotton, and it's ideal for picking up all sorts of bits and bobs. I don't like using baby wipes because they tend to not have a good reputation for the environment. Okay, so that's your first one done. So that's pages 1 and pages 2. So you're going to do exactly the same thing on the next envelope. So you've got your original page 1 looking right, and you're going to have the additional envelope now pointing to the left. Fold it over, crease it along the line, and then add your glue. Just a very, very thin. I've just topped this glue up, so it is quite runny. Oops, because you don't really need that much there, to be honest. And again, you just fold it over, making sure that it fits in the 2 corners there. Fold it over, making sure that these edges here as well are in line. The more often you do it, the easier it gets, if I'm honest. Okay, so you've now got 3 pages. Okay, so go to number 4. And you do exactly the same again. So it's not particularly hard. Get it there ready, and run your glue along the edge, like so. Just like these bits spilt out there. Marry it up, fold it over, trying to keep it as in line as you can. There we go. Yes, so thank you, Marge, for making my my cloth. It needs a wash now, so I'll throw it in the next dirty wash. Okay, so you've now got 4 pages. And this one's going to be the last one in your base book. So my base books are normally 5 pages. You can make it just 4 if you want to, but I've always done it 5 pages. So again, you do exactly the same. You're going to run your glue along the edge, a little tiny thin layer of glue along your edge, right the way along. Okay. And again, you're going to line it up with all the edges, like so. And that's going to be your base, or the base of your base book, should we put it that way. Okay, so we want to join these up together. So what we're going to do now is fold this envelope from the very, very first envelope. We're going to fold it over to latch in to complete the book. And then this one here is going to be an extra page where it flips out. So to do this, I want to run a line down the edge, the very, very edge, and then a secondary line about 1/8 of an inch possibly along there, along the edge again, like so. And we're going to want to go along the side there. Now this is where I use a bone folder, because I just want to keep it nice and straight along the edge, and then I'm going to flip this over, trying to keep that as nice and straight as a base for your spine of your book. There you go, like so. So you should then have a nice spine for your book. There we go. Now to strengthen my spine, I use, gosh, bought this on holiday actually in France, and it's the medical tape that you can buy for wounds, but it's really, really good. It's got strength in it, and then once it's onto your craft paper, it really goes invisible, but it just gives a really good strength to your spine. So you burr it in like so, doing a good burnish, turn it over along the side and then flip it. And then if you are wanting to put any hand sewn papers into your journal, you've got something for it to bite into and not rip your envelope. And I think that was a really, really good tip. There is so many ways of making these envelope books. This is just the way that I particularly like to make mine. And there you've got your 5 pages. And again, if you're going to put pages and hand sew notebooks in like I've done in one of my books, instead of where I used wishy-washy tape, I tend to use this tape from the chemist. It is quite expensive, but I have found a source in the UK where you can get it from the likes of Poundland, Home and Bargain and other similar stores. It's about 10 meters you get for about £1, which isn't too expensive. The ones from the chemist can be up to £3 or £4 a shot. So we're now going to do an additional page. Now, depending whether you want your book to open out and have the 3rd page on that side onto the right, or you can have it onto the left. It is entirely up to you. So for this one, I'm going to actually do the extra page onto the right. So we do basically the same again as we did with adding the pages to your book. So we're going to line it up with the page that we want, and I've done this on page number 1, 2, 3, 4. So on my 4th page of my book, I want my extra one. So we just line it up like so. We're going to run the glue. Now then, this time we just want to make sure that we've got everything in line the same right the way along. There we go. And flip it over to the page on the edge there. Excuse my head if my head gets in the way. There we go, and that flips to there like that. Now we need to make sure that that can move across, which mine's not doing. So when it's there, it needs to be this way just a little tad. Oops. Let me just unravel that a little bit, because that needs to be in line with there. Ooh. So that page needs to be in line with that page there. There we go. Because when you fold the page over, it needs to sit quite set. Does that make sense? So you're going to glue that, and you're going to make sure that when your page comes over, it's just less than that line. It's about an eighth of an inch. I don't know what that is in centimetres. I don't work centimetres, girl. So it's a half centimetre away from that edge. Okay. So you've now got your extra page. And you're going to have a pocket here, or you can make a pocket. So what I've gone and done is I've just used an envelope, the waste from another project that I did with an envelope. And I'm going to just run some glue along there, along there, along there on the inside of this piece of old envelope. So along there, and along there. And what we want to make sure that we've not done is glue the inside to here, because this one's going to be a pocket. Okay. And then on this little corner here, I'm just going to put a little dab of glue there and a little dab of glue here, just to make it, oh, oh, excuse me, a little firmer. There we go. So straight away we've got a hidden pocket. There we go. Put that lid on there because that's going to spill out. And there you have it. You've got a 6-page envelope book. And then on the 4th page we've got one that flips out and flips back in with a hidden pocket just there. And then you've got pages 5 and 6 there. Okay, ladies, look out for my next, and gents, sorry. Look out for my next part 2, and I'll explain how to build it up to the next stage. Okay, thanks very much. Bye.